Hello everyone. Today I'm going to take up the topic why competency based education is required. What are the benefits of competency based education? So let us start with the introduction part. Competency based education is an approach towards teaching, learning, and assessment. Teaching and learning is a core principle of CBSE. Is that it focuses on student centered learning, and it lays significance on the teaching, empowering the students to learn actively supported by feedback. It is very similar to mastery based learning. And assessment, the application of knowledge and skill to real world situations or contexts, and using authentic problems which draws on real life data are key features of CBE assessment systems. So now moving toward the definition, it can be defined as an individual's capability of performing a task successfully in professional, educational, and other life context by using first knowledge, second skills, abilities, third one. Now we'll see one by one. So let us start with the first one, knowledge. Knowledge is the conceptual and theoretical understanding of the subject. It is a visible characteristics that can be easily developed through a good competency based education. Skills. A skill is a measurable and observable proficiency or experience that is a learned through training or experience. It is also a visible characteristic that can be easily developed through a good competency based education. And the last one, abilities. An ability is the vast underlying capacity or talent that is essential to learn and apply knowledge and skills. It is a hidden characteristic we are naturally capable to learn, which develops even without formal instructions. So now we are moving toward our main topic, that is why competency based education. So under this topic we are going to learn about why competency based education is important and needed, and what are the benefits of competency based education for students and teachers. So let us start with the one very good quotation of our honorable former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So educationists should build the capacities of the spirit of inquiry, creativity, entrepreneurial, and moral leadership among students and become their role model. Now, let us start with some of the gaps in our traditional education system. So, first, it does not incorporate development of all students in an equitable manner. So, students underperforming academically in relation to their peers are not given flexibility in learning as per their level of preparedness. Rather, one size with all approach is followed for all the students. And now the second one, it promotes students to next grade before they have mastered each stage of learning. Students are supposed to be present in the classroom for a fixed period of time. They are promoted to next grade before they have mastered each stage of learning. So now the third one is does not instill competencies which are needed in real world. It is limited in its approach, as it does not instill competencies in students which are needed in the which are actually needed in the real world. So in a nutshell, traditional education is a generalized system which limits a holistic development of students' ability and does not prepare them for career and life roles. So now let's understand the reason schools are turning to competency-based teaching and learning, and why educationists and policymakers support it. Why? So let us see one by one reasons behind it. So there are five main reasons that explain the need for competency based education. So number one, lifelong learning. Number two, empowered and inclusive culture of learning. Number three, timely and differentiated instruction and support. Number four, pedagogical principles aligned to meet needs and goals of students. And the last one is transparency with clear and explicit expectations. So we'll discuss one by one. So let us start with the first one, lifelong learning. So competency based education supports lifelong learning by focusing on both academic knowledge as well as transferable skills. It ensures that students become problem solvers, independent learners, and successful in new contexts. It focuses on student agency, which means that students are free to choose their learning pace. They will learn at their own pace and act as independent and self-regulating learners. So now we are moving toward the second one, that is empowered and inclusive culture of learning. Competency based schools create cultures that emphasize growth, inclusion, and empowerment for students and teachers, educators. It aims to foster growth mindset in students so that they take ownership of their own learning. Educators are also empowered and given flexibility to make decisions in the best interest of students. Now, very important part is that equity lies at the heart of competency based education to ensure that all students grow and benefit, not just some. Right. Now we are moving toward the third one, timely and differentiated instruction and support. Competency based system offer timely instructions and support to all the students. Support in CBSE is not a reactive measure which is provided when a students fail. Rather, it is offered proactively throughout the learning. More emphasis on the process than end result. Remedial learning opportunities, formative assessments, and effective feedback are offered regularly so that students continue to learn and build their knowledge and skills. Now we are moving toward the fourth one, pedagogical principles aligned to meet needs and goals of students. The pedagogical principles of competency based education are aligned to meet actual learning needs and goals of all the students. Teaching is not based on students' age or grade, and teacher begin with meeting students where they are and what are their learning needs. Learning tasks are designed based on students' academic foundation, and the support system offered to help students learn and achieve their goals are determined after due diligence of students, social, emotional, and cognitive development. Now we are moving toward the fifth one, transparency with clear and explicit expectations. Competency based education system value transparency by laying down clear and explicit expectations from teachers as well as from the students. Students know exactly what is to be learned, the level of performance they need to demonstrate for mastery, and how they are progressing throughout a course. Students feel motivated and enthusiastic when learning targets are clear to them. Students feel empowered when they have a saying how they learn and demonstrate mastery or proficiency. Now we are going to discuss the key benefits of competency based education for students and teacher. So let us start with the first one. There are five key benefits. Competency based education is a student centered approach that makes students competent by focusing on the areas where they need to be improved. And the second, it gives flexibility, not a fixed time. Flexibility to students to work at their own pace until they achieve masteries on particular topic. Provides enough time to learners to attain proficiency. So because of the flexibility, teachers provide timely support and feedback to students during the process of building knowledge and skills. And the fourth one is teachers provide one-to-one learning and support to students based on their needs and interest. And the last one is that the grading system in competency based system is transparent, and students are always clear on their learning objectives on its outcomes. So these are the key benefits of competency based education for students as well as for teachers. I hope it is clear to all of you. So I will take up with another topic in the next session, that assessment of for on of competency based education. So that's all for today's session. Thank you very much.